out to the shore. We don't want any boats drifting away.
As the weeks went by, the Baron couldn't be faulted for his approach to life at the youth camp. His enthusiasm was admired by all.
Hey, Baron, isn't that yours?
In fact, Philip was so committed to his job, he could be relied on to throw himself into every task. Literally.
Excuse me, Baron. Your lawyer's here.
Morning, Miss Kenny.
Morning, Baron. I have news from the courts.
Really? Would you excuse us, please, Sophie?
Of course, Baron.
But amongst all the mini disasters that made up his daily life, the Baron finally got the news he'd been waiting for.
Yes!
Oh, Baron.
Oh.
That's amazing. 2 weeks, are you sure?
Absolutely. My lawyer managed to get the trial brought forward, and she's certain I win. She says there's no real evidence against me at all.
This is huge. Not only will Philip be home soon, but it means that Uncle Herman's attempts to take over the castle will be demolished forever.
Listen, Daddy, you have to be extra careful not to put a foot wrong before the trial.
I know that,
You
Lily.
mustn't give Herman, the police, or anybody else the slightest excuse to create even more delays.
Darling, you don't need to remind me of... I'm perfectly able to look after myself.
As if.
Sorry, darling, I didn't catch that.
Oh, nothing, Daddy. I just coughed.
At long last, it looked like the tide was turning. And the news about the trial wasn't the only thing that cheered the Baron that day.
Baron von Hasenberg?
Yes?
It's a great honor to meet you, sir.
And you are?
Martin Frank, a fellow German and, might I say, a great admirer of all that aristocrats, such as you, have done for our country.
Really? So, what brings you all the way out here, Mr. Frank?
I have an invitation for you to be the guest of honor at an official German-Australian function tomorrow.
Guest of honor?
I do hope you can accept, Baron. It is so rare to have a real German noble amongst us.
Well, I'd love to, but unfortunately I have certain restrictions on my movements.
Do not be embarrassed, Baron. I am fully aware of your circumstances. And you don't need to worry about restrictions. They have all been taken care of.
The German Business League of Sydney.
That's us. And you see, the invitation is countersigned by the Deputy General Police Commander. He gives you his personal permission to attend.
How on earth did you get that?
He's a close friend. So, you will come?
I'd be delighted.
Excellent. I look forward to seeing you there tomorrow. He's agreed. Arrange things exactly as we discussed. We want everything to run perfectly.
The German Business League of Sydney? How did they know the Baron was even in Sydney?
How many German nobles bother going all the way to Australia? Of course they'd know he was there. They're starved of celebrities. They probably talk of nothing else.
The Baron must be very careful. He can't afford any trouble so close to his trial.
This is completely official. Authorized by the Deputy General Police Commander. You can't get more official than that.
Still, it might be good to get Sophie to go with him. Just to keep an eye on things.
All right. I guess that way at least he'll turn up on time. Excuse me, why are you moving all the furniture?
You asked us to. Remember? You thought it would make the room look nicer?
Oh, yes. So I did. But now Daddy's coming home. He'll want everything just the way it was. So you'd better move it all back. Sorry.
Just like the wind and rain, things just on me now and then. It doesn't mean that we're not in love. So face it, you're just crazy about nothing. Don't be scared of the past. You are the best and last.
So what do you think?
I liked it.
But
I don't know. When I wrote the lyrics, I imagined it going a little bit faster.
if it did go faster, it would make a great dance track.
I like it the way it is.
What do you think, Luce?
Well, I like it the way it is too.
See?
But I also think it could work as a dance track.
So you agree with both of us. Really helpful.
Maybe you could try it out in front of an audience, see how they react.
Yeah, I think it's worth a try.
It would be, except for one Small problem. Where are we going to find an audience? Philly B's had us banned from just about every club across the country.
Oh, well, there has to be somewhere you can play. I'll get online and do some venue searching tomorrow.
Oh, just remember, we need a gig in Sydney, not Lower Saxony. No? Okay.
Morning, Marcus.
Morning.
Is there something wrong?
It's just that I did some research on the German Business League of Sydney.
You didn't find anything bad, did you?
I didn't find anything at all. No website, no address, no references. They simply don't exist.
Of course they exist. Otherwise, who invited Daddy?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Do you know the name of the guy who gave him the invitation?
Baron, our taxi's here.
Coming, Sophie.
What's that?
My speech. Don't worry, I kept it brief. Only an hour.
Oh, that brief.
It's Lily again. Checking up on me, no doubt. Hello, darling. What is it this time?
Hi, Daddy. Just checking if you are on your way yet.
Yes, we're about to get into the taxi. Was there anything else?
Well, we were wondering who gave you the invitation.
His name is Martin Frank, and before you ask, I can assure you he's a very fine fellow.
How do you know?
Because I'm an excellent judge of character, that's why.
Now I am worried.
So if you don't mind, I don't want to keep him waiting.
All right, Daddy. Just be careful, won't you?
Honestly, Lily, I'll be perfectly fine. Trust me. Bye. There. I'm turning it off. Much as I love her, father can only take so much babying in one day.
I better check out this Martin Frank guy, just in case.
Do you really think there's anything to worry about?
Hopefully not, but better to be safe than sorry, huh? Meet Martin Frank. He's a German businessman who moved to Sydney a year ago and previously owned a company called Schmacker Holdings. I did some digging on Schmacker Holdings. Turns out they nearly went bankrupt, and Martin Frank was in deep trouble until he received a last-minute rescue offer from this company, Hasberg Capital.
Hasberg Capital? But isn't that...
Yes. Isn't that what? Hasberg is short for von Hasenburg, and the director of this company is none other than Herman.
I knew from the start that invitation was suspect. Daddy is so naive.
This whole thing is looking like a setup.
But how? What would Herman's plan be?
Who knows? But we need to call the Baron and warn him that he could be walking into a trap.
That isn't Lily, is it? Just ignore it.
But what if it's something urgent?
It'll be about making sure my tie's straight or something equally silly. I call her back after the function.
All right.
Thank you. Now we can enjoy the event in peace.
I can't get Daddy or Sophie. Now what do we do?
How about we send someone else to the function to warn them?
Like who?
Sam,
Listen, I found a gig for you.
you have
It's a sort of corporate function, and it's today.
today.
Right now, in fact.
There's no way we can make it. Jack can't get himself organized in a week, let alone now.
Tell him Sophie will be there.
Yeah, that might do it. So, what's the deal?
It's a bit complicated.
How complicated?
Well, firstly, the organizers of the function won't actually be expecting you.
And secondly?
You won't be able to test drive the new song.
Okay, that's too weird. You better tell me what's going on.
Baron von Hasenburg, so glad you could make it.
My pleasure, Martin. This is Sophie, a work colleague and fellow German.
Lovely to meet you.
And you?
So, should I make my speech now or...
Later. Much later. First, there are some very important people who are dying to meet you.
Remind me again why I agreed to this ridiculous charade?
Because your lovely girlfriend Sophie is waiting inside, remember?
Oh, yeah, now I'm motivated.
Invitations?
Oh, we don't have any. We're the band.
What band?
We're the German band. We're booked to play here.
Well, there's nothing on here about a German band. What are your names?
Oh, I'm Hansel, and she's...
Gretel.
We're the Polka Brothers.
And sisters.
Well, who booked you? Was it Martin?
That's right, it was Martin, wasn't it, Gretel?
Oh, good old Martin.
Typical. Nobody ever tells me anything. All right, all right. Don't scratch the walls with your equipment.
After you, Gretel.
Thanks, Hansel.
Jack. Are you in?
Yep. Now what?
There's two priorities. One, Philip and Sophie. And two, take as many photos of the guests as you can.
Photos? What for?
Just email them back to me. I'll try to identify anyone who the Baron should worry about.
Yeah, cool.
Yes, it's been an ordeal from start to finish. Fortunately, it's all coming to an end soon, and I'll be on my way home.
Jack?
Oh, I can't wait to see my little...
We're on a mission, okay? You need to warn the Baron that this whole thing is a setup.
Yes.
By Herman.
Oh, you're kidding.
Okay, just make sure he doesn't accept any gifts.
So beautiful at this time of year. That waiter's the spitting image of Jack.
Baron, I have to talk to you.
What is it?
Excuse me, Baron. There are many people who want to meet you before the official presentation.
There's a presentation?
Of course, you are our guest of honor, please.
Baron.
Sorry, Sophie. We'll talk later.
And here I am, just having fun at the party. And just another fabulous selfie.
How does this work, Marcus?
These are the photos Lucy's sending us. And these are photos I found of Herman's known associates, plus a few Kasperi diplomats.
So you're looking for a match?
Hey, how you going?
Yeah, good, just one.
Door drinking 6 o'clock.
Excuse me? Aren't you supposed to be playing?
Yep. No, we were just getting a general vibe for the party first.
Yeah. You're not here for the free food, so just start playing, all right?
No problem.
No, no match. No match. No match.
Hey, what about this guy?
Ah, well spotted. That is the Kasperi ambassador.
The Cosbury ambassador? What's he doing at a German-Australian function?
Marcus says to keep the Baron away from this guy at all costs.
Are you ready?
Yep. Oh, almost. I just have to plug this in. Hey, Sophie, you see the big guy over there? We have to keep the Baron away from him at all costs.
I'll try.
Welcome, everybody, and thank you for coming. Shortly, we'll have an official presentation to our honored guest. But before that, we have a special treat for you all. We're going to listen to some wonderful German songs. So please welcome the Polka Brothers and Sisters.
Why did you tell them we knew German songs?
I didn't.
So what are we gonna play?
Grade 4. Do you remember Mrs. Heinze?
Yeah? No, not that one. Please, not that one.
What choice do we have?
There's a hole in my bucket, dilly-soo, dilly-soo. There's a hole in my bucket, dilly-soo.
Jack and Lucy. What a surprise.
Fix it, dear Heinrich, dear Heinrich, dear
Baron, I
Heinrich.
still need to talk to
Excuse
you.
me, Baron. We have our committee chairperson who's desperate to meet you.
Then I'd better not disappoint her, had I?
What shall I fix it, dilly-soo, with what?
With straw, dear Heinrich, dear.
It's Sophie. There's going to be an official presentation to Daddy.
Then that's it. That's gonna be the setup.
You mean they'll try and give the Baron something illegal without him realizing?
Correct.
Then Daddy's back under arrest, facing even more charges.
First things first. Lily, ask Sophie to find out what exactly they plan to present to the Baron.
I'm 2 steps ahead of you.
Dilly-soo, dilly-soo, the snow is too dry, dilly-soo, too dry.
Then wet it, dear Heinrich, dear Heinrich, dear Heinrich. Then wet it, dear Heinrich, dear Heinrich, wet it.
With what shall I wet it, dilly-soo, dilly-soo? With what shall I wet it, dilly-soo? With what?
With water, dear Heinrich, dear Heinrich, dear Heinrich. With water, dear Heinrich, dear Heinrich,
It's all right, Lily.
It's just a toy koala. Nothing too suspicious. Sorry, I gotta go.
My bucket, dilly sool, a hole in my bucket, dilly sool, a hole.
Well, there goes our entire German repertoire. Now, what do we play?
Grade 5, Mr. Finnegan?
That's not German, is it?
Of course it is.
Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree.
Parts of the castle date back to the time of Maximilian I.
Fascinating. Baron, would you mind if my friend takes a photo?
Oh, of course. My pleasure. Here.
Say cheese.
Limburger.
Then I saw him putting something inside the koala.
Listen, Sophie, you have to stop them from presenting it to the Baron.
Are you serious?
You have to. He mustn't be allowed to accept it.
Your attention, please, everyone. I would like to introduce our official guest of honor, Baron Philipp von Hasenberg.
Thank you. Now, I'd like to say a few words, if I may. The von Hasenburgs are no strangers to adversity. When I think of my own troubles, I'm reminded of great-grand-uncle Knut von Hasenburg, a man who was ridiculed because his best friend was a hamster.
That's what they're giving the Baron, except there's something hidden in it.
Something illegal?
All the other Any lesser man. But a
The police are here.
Oh, perfect. Just in time to see the Baron holding the evidence.
Because he was a von Hasenburg, through and through. Which brings me to Baron Volkart von Hasenburg, famous for his pioneering work in teaching children to count backwards.
Thank you, Baron. What a marvelous, and might I say, educational speech. But unfortunately, time is against us. We must move on.
But of course.
For now, it is time for the moment we've all been waiting for, the official presentation.
It's now or never. Lucy, you distract the police.
Okay.
And Jack, you come with me.
Hi there, officers. Any chance either of you like German folk songs?
Baron, all of us here are well aware of how difficult this time has been for you. So please accept this as a small token of our support.
Thank you. You're too kind.
No, wait!
Are you Philipp von Hasenberg?
Yes? Is there a problem?
I'm placing you under arrest.
Why?
No, wait, you are making a huge mistake, okay? The real culprit is the person who tried to give the Baron this.
Pickled herring? What's that got to do with anything?
Actually, now that you mention it, I have absolutely no idea.
Mr. von Hasenberg.
Baron von Hasenburg.
Mr. Baron von Hasenberg, you have breached your bail conditions by moving outside the area prescribed by the courts.
What?
Your electronic anklet set off the alarm.
But I have permission. This is harassment.
Calm down, Mr. Baron. Just come with us, please.
Excuse me.
We should let
He's been arrested?
I'm afraid so.
But I don't understand. If the gift was just pickled herring...
It was, but that isn't the problem. Hang on, the local police have just arrived. I should see what's happening.
Sergeant Schäfer, thank goodness.
It's all right, guys. I'll take it from here.
I kept telling them I had official permission to be here, but they wouldn't believe me.
Official permission?
See, it's even signed by your Deputy General Police Commander. Now, will you let me go?
I'm sorry, Philip, but this doesn't help.
Why not?
Because there's no such person as a Deputy General Commander of Police, or even a General Commander.
Then who signed it?
And that's a very good question.
Martin, you can vouch for me. Sergeant, this man is with the German Business League.
I'm sorry. I've never heard of such an organization. Does it exist?
Of course. This is on their letterhead, and here's your signature.
Oh, that's not my signature. I'm sorry, I've never seen this letter before, Sergeant. I only met this man today.
But you invited me as your guest of honor.
No, this function is for His Excellency, the Ambassador of Kosboristan.
I don't understand.
Neither do I. Oh, be careful, sir. Look, you are about to lose something else.
What's this?
Maybe it's the script of the next fantasy you intend acting out. Good day, sir.
Transfer order?
Transfer order for 200,000 Kosbori kronkers from the Kosboristan Commercial Bank to the account of Baron Philip von Hasenberg.
I have nothing to do with this. Nothing at all.
You might want to call your lawyer.
If you're confused, don't feel bad, because so am I. What just happened? How did that paper get into Philip's pocket? We need to rewind here. It could only have happened when Philip was having his photo taken. Obvious, right? But none of us saw it because we're all focused on that stupid toy koala. Which turned out to be a complete red herring, excuse the pun. So in the end, Herman has outsmarted us all.
You did all this, didn't you? You despicable, unscrupulous...
Lily, please, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Of course you do. You orchestrated the whole thing.
Look, I'm terribly sorry that Philip's case has suddenly become so complicated. It's certainly a shame.
Don't act all innocent. We know you're behind all this.
My dear Lily, you really must see someone about these bizarre delusions of yours. But do let me know if there's anything I can do to help you, won't you? Remember, your pain is my pain.
Baron, are you all right?
I was. Till I heard 2 months till the trial.
Thanks to Cousin Herman, short of a miracle, the Baron isn't likely to be back home anytime soon. But on the bright side, he now has plenty of time to improve his skills as a youth camp leader.
Come on, Sophie! Keep up!
Baron, look out!
That is, provided he doesn't drown first.